live? Like, you seriously, like, we set all this up and you can't just help me out and do this tonight, man?
No, you suck.
No, friend, you're the one who does. Billy, I have a question for you.
Most is the COT.
Excuse me?
The COT. They suck the most.
Billy, I have a question for you.
Answers henceforth.
Do you know?
Are we broadcasting live? The COT didn't hear me say that, did they?
No, nobody heard you say that. Nobody heard you say that. Except for Ryan Sanders, who said, "Sup, Cobra?"
Sup, dingus?
There you go. So let's see, Billy. I have a question for you. What's cool, man? You're like the coolest guy I know. What's cool?
No! Things are cool. Okay, let's do it right away. Do you want the cools or do you want the surprises?
Let's do cools. End it with a surprise.
Okay. Here's the xylophone. Now everyone can see it.
There it is.
So now you can get your colors right on your new logos that you're going to do this week. Okay. Hey, that's cool with. How's it go? Billy.
You missed a couple keys there, bud.
Well, I hit the plastic and let's do it again. Hey, that's cool with.
Billy. Awesome.
Thank you. Oh, this week's cools. We have which one are we doing first? Oh yeah. So, I love animation. Mark.
Yeah.
Do you love animation as much as I do?
Not as much as you do. I enjoy animation. I can appreciate it, but I don't have the exact intense love that you have.
This is something I probably ran across with before, but I kind of paid more attention to it. So this is a film that came out in 1926, 1927. So this is like way before 10, 11, 12 years before Snow White.
Yeah.
It's a German film directed by and animated by Lottie Reiniger. And a German film. It's silent and it's all done with shadow puppets. And it's called The Adventures of Prince Achmed. It's all on YouTube. And some of it's like if a graphic designer made an animated film, because all it uses is silhouettes.
Right.
And some of the silhouettes and shapes are just so fucking cool, right? It's very like sort of Germanic folk art style, right? It's beautiful. Did you get a chance to kind of stream through it a little bit, Mark?
I did. I actually put one up while I was working the other day and had the music playing behind it, and then I just kind of like jumped around because it's a bunch of different shorts, I believe, or different chapters of a story, and I love this like primal illustration method, and the weird thing is that it actually feels very contemporary because of the harsh background color. So it's this black on top of these really, really like, they needed a bright color so that you could fully see the shadow.
I guess, yeah.
And
I don't know if those colors were added later because this is 1926. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is also one of those things. One of the hard things about enjoying animation for me is that I have a hard time getting lost in animation because I continuously think about how much work it was.
Oh, that's all I'm thinking about. It's like, well, how did she make these puppets? And how did she move it all around? What if someone sneezed and like the paper flew everywhere?
But there's even though the world has gotten really, really technical, like practical magic still is one of those things you're like, oh, I figured out how they did that. And there's a couple of the attractions over at Disneyland, like Pirates of the Caribbean, where they use shadows to tell the story. So when you're coming in the big fight room, there's two guys sword fighting and you hear their swords cling, cling, cling. And it's probably just two little like a little projector just put in this shadow on the wall. But with the audio track, it looks like two guys are sword fighting on the other side of this rock wall. And it's just like this sort of basic storytelling. It's like so obvious that you just think, who's the person that figured out, like, wait a minute, if we make a bunch of these photos, we can turn it into a movie.
Yeah. And, I'm so amazed that there was so much work by one person.
It's all done by the same artist?
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah. There was a cinematographer on it, but what does that mean? Someone that held that pressed shoot on the camera or something. But I'm immensely impressed by it. It looks like it could be done in Illustrator right now. You know what I mean?
That's the thing that I was so shocked is that it's from 1926.
Yeah.
But any still frame of this could go on Instagram and people will be like, I love your new style.
Totally. Yeah. Sorry, I'm sort of getting distracted by watching it.
Right it's now. Beautiful. It's beautiful. People on the radio love that, by the way.
There's so much, but you could take a still frame of this and it makes so many of these things would make a great poster. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Oh man, it's cool. It's very neat. So I'm going to give this, I got, 10 years, 12 years before Snow White, 4 stars, 4 cools. Sorry, cools on that one.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. That was one that I was like, man, like, how does Bill even find this stuff?
Well, I was listening to a program about the history of animation, and they were talking about it.
Oh, well, this would have to be like a huge cornerstone of the history of animation because for 1926, I'm pretty sure nobody was doing anything better.
Not just better, but anything at all.
Hey, something that's pretty crude animation, but I absolutely adored it as a kid? I used to be so excited when, not the main channels, but the big number channels over on the UHF, that would play old movies.
Yeah.
I would be so excited when I could go back in my room and catch on WDRB channel 41. They would play Clash of the Titans a lot. And I just thought that was an incredibly progressive hip movie. I love the Mechanical Owl. I love Medusa, the monsters. Like that was just one of my favorite animation movies. Yeah. Yes. So good.
So cool. Jason and the Argonauts also. Ray Harryhausen. I think there's a documentary about him. It's really, he's awesome. That's good shit.
Okay, let's move on to our next cool.
Let's get real, okay?
All right, your next cool is Dover Books.
Okay, this is okay. Listen, okay. I teach a lot of millennials.
Yeah.
Right. And younger even. And they have never known a time of design without computers,
right?
Or Google image search. And before Google image search, every designer had a swipe file, or they had clip art books, or they had whatever, right? And what I'm noticing is that I have to introduce Dover publications and tell these people what clip art is and what found imagery is, because they had never. It's just not a part of their culture, their environment and design, right? And it's such a great resource. So Dover Publications produces thousands and thousands of cheap books on every type of subject. I mean,
it's incredible how affordable they are.
Yeah, they're very affordable. A lot of them will come with scans, but I mean, you're just like on a CD or something like that. Like if you have a CD drive anymore.
Here's the modern application of the Dover book. I have tons and tons of them in my.
I still use it. I still use them.
I still use them all the time. And now with things like Scanner Pro on your iPhone, you don't even have to go through the hassle of like hooking up your scanner or pulling your scanner out or trying to.
What's Scanner Pro?
Scanner Pro is an amazing app that you put on your iPhone. It scans in 3 different modes: a color mode, which is pretty good. It does a grayscale, but it does even its best mode is when it just goes straight down to bitmap, black on white. And the greatest thing about Scanner Pro is when you're out and about and you see like a rusted old like mailbox or a sign that's beat up, you can literally pull it out, scan that image right there, and now you have that texture in your phone to send over to your computer as a PDF and put it in your next design application.
It's $4.
It's well worth the $4.
Wow, that's a cool for you. How many cools are you going to give that, Mark? Scanner Pro, a surprise cool for Mark Brickey.
5 cools.
Wow. Wait, that's impossible.
4 cools.
Only goes to 4.
4 cools. I use it all the time.
Yeah. I like that. That's great. But also another resource you can use is Dover Publications. I use I go there not all the time, but they're always running sales. The shit is cheap. Um, they have stuff on everything. Everything. What do you want to be inspired by today? You want to be inspired by uh Hindu folk art? Google that shit. It'll have 3 books on that. You know what I mean?
I have books that the central theme is monsters and deities, like a whole book that's just monsters and deities. And I've used the religious ones a lot to clip out the halos and the sun rays and the flames and the fire that they use. I mean, if you go through years of my poster design, one poster you look at would literally be 16, 24 different pieces spread out over probably a dozen different Dover books.
Yeah, and here's the thing: when everyone is using Google image search or Pinterest or wherever the fuck, you're all landing on the same 5 images. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So go at some stuff that someone hasn't used yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
My rule with collage art too was it has to be whatever I take, I need to take a piece of something that I find and add it to other pieces. Like it was never like, I'm going to use this whole image and then just put the band name around. It's like, I'm going to take the skull from this little bitty dagger in the background of this, sun rays from over here, this wing from over here, put it all together, seam it up. I got really good at illustrating like a black, like wonky, like crunchy line so I could seam everything together and my lines weren't perfect, that it had that little bit of roughness that you get from scanning and blowing up.
Yes. Yeah.
You told me a pro tip once from the Great Aesthetic Apparatus that they actually designed in a lower DPI so that when it blew up for posters, everything got that nice, like sort of roughed edge to it.
Did it? Was that from them? They use the stamp filter a lot in Photoshop.
I'm guilty. Torn edge. You take your image. I need to do a process video on that. I'll do that sometime. That's my favorite thing to rough things up.
Yeah, great. Let's give this 4, right?
Absolutely. This is a fundamental of design.
4 cools.
4 cools.
4 cools, Mark.
All right, let's head over to your third cool of the evening.
Okay, this is an interesting one.
Says you.
Yeah, says me.
Stadio dei Marmi.
Okay, so this is not really about the stadium, right? This is Stadio dei Marmi, Stadium of the Marbles, right? What I want you to do is go Stadio dei Marmi statues into Google and go to the image search that.
These guys right here, right?
Yeah. So around this small track, this small stadium in Italy, they have 59 statues, marble statues of all different athletes, right? This was created, the stadium and these statues were created under Mussolini. Go back to their roots, right, of the great Roman traditions. And so they did a lot of architecture and a lot of sculpture that was reminiscent of Roman times. So that's why they're sort of Roman looking. But they're also, since they were created in the 20s, also very Art Deco.
Right.
So I think my favorite one is this boxer. I don't know if you can find the boxer. You can see his profile here on the right side, the dark one, all the way on the right, all the way.
This one?
Up one. There you go.
Oh yeah, he is badass.
Right? Look at how great his profile is, his hair, his posture. God, it's so. I was just like, what? Okay, so this is the first one I ran across. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like,
yeah.
So I did a little digging and some research. And this place is really interesting that around the stadium, they have 59 statues of different athletes. and I was like, Jesus Christ, it's quite
Uh-oh.
an undertaking.
Uh-oh. Whoops.
Yes,
Whoopsie.
yes, it has not such a great past.
Whoopsie.
Right? But yeah, yes, I mean it was a part of fascism, and it's probably not. But let's divorce all that from the, it kind of goes back to, can you think Louis C.K. is funny still? Can you still appreciate the artistry of these statues, even though it was done under fascism, right? I think a lot of artists and designers, not artists, but designers, they're just going to dribble, right? And they're getting inspired.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be great. It's great to dig a little further and find some different types of inspirations. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Where you can really get inspired by things like this sort of Nouveau Roman Art Deco.
Tonight. I want to see this particular photo big because it just looks so cool.
Yeah. I went on to, when I was doing my research, I went on to the Google Street View.
Yeah.
And I got to see the stadium is tiny. Like the track there's only like a dozen benches, like rows or something, like 20 rows. But these statues are just go all the way around. Now, originally there were 60 and there's only 59 now. I couldn't figure out what was the missing one. It may have been a picture of Mussolini or somebody doing something fascistic or something like that.
I wonder if it was either censored or stolen.
Yeah, it might have been smashed at some point. But pretty freaking cool, I think.
It's pretty interesting to see something like this. I want to know what this mace is on this guy's hand right there. But yeah, really fascinating.
What the heck is that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, if you had to fill out a job application and you wrote down Billy Bauman occupation and you wrote artist, I mean, you are an artist. People have paid you money to create art. But then you see somebody capable of doing this 60 times. You're like, well, I'm a commercial artist. I'm not like a for real artist. Like, this is serious work right here.
I think the styles are slightly different. So I'm guessing that it wasn't just one dude or woman or team. I think it was more than one artist, because the styles, I think, are slightly different.
It's pretty cool. I tell you what would be intense would be to be in that stadium and just be surrounded by all of these. Talking about Clash of the Titans earlier, you would have a crazy vibe of being surrounded by all these guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, how many cools do you give fascism?
Well, I'm going to knock it a cool because of the fascism.
Okay.
Because of Mussolini.
Okay.
3 cools. But still neat. Okay, Mark. You want surprise number 1 or surprise number 2?
I'll take surprise number 1.
Surprise number 1. We've got. Okay, by the time this airs next week, this is really maybe just going to be for more of the live audience right now. I'm enticing people to tune in. I'm going to be 42 Sunday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And as a birthday present, our good friend Dave Clayton from Astute Graphics sent me a really nice book.
Nice guy.
Great guy. Problem is I own this book already.
Oh.
So on behalf of Dave Clayton and Astute Graphics, check them out. We're going to be giving this book away to one lucky listener. This is the book we talked about maybe a year and a half ago. Dorothy and Otis.
Hold it up in front of the camera.
Oh, sorry.
Other way. Other way. You're going the wrong way. There you go.
Dorothy and Otis, right?
Yeah.
So these are the people that worked for the Cubs.
Oh, yeah. We talked about those guys. Yeah. Yes. We talked all about that.
Yes. This is a great book. It is a hardbound, hardback, huge book with great freaking art, right? Totally a great, awesome book. Okay? So we're going to have a little contest to see who. I will send this book out to one of our listeners.
How are you going to do the contest?
The first person that can tell me what high school I went to will win that book. So you're going to have to do a little detective work.
Man, Navatal will have that shit figured out in 5 minutes. No doubt about it. He's already right now ripping through your social security number and looking at.
I can't see the feed, so I don't know who's doing it. But you could tweet it at me. Tweet at the answer to AID and me.
Okay.
Or if you do it right now live, I will send you this book.
All right. So
it's an excellent book.
What's behind door number 2?
Okay, door number 2. This is something that's been stuck in my craw a little bit, Mark. Not stuck in my craw, but bothering me slightly.
Okay.
The Shop Talk logo that we've been using.
The one that you made, yeah.
The one that I made. It was kind of never for prime time.
Well, you posted it on your Instagram.
I know I posted. Listen, I'm not mad at anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't mad at you. I
know that you may not be happy with it, but I'll tell you something. Enon Avatal says he has it. Central High School.
Central? No. Close. Not close. Okay. I think it's too busy. It's a little clunky. It's a little horsey. And frankly, I don't like it when the colors are in it. So I wanted to create a new one. So I created a new one.
Okay.
That I think it's patchable.
Okay.
It's t-shirtable.
Okay.
Way cooler. And I think it imbues the spirit of the Shop Talk better.
Okay. So
I've sent this to you.
Okay. Shall I look at it now?
Yes.
Okay. Billy sent me a link. I just put it in the browser, never looked at it. I will see this for the first time. I will tell you this, though, about the Shop Talk logo that you made. You may not like the colors in it, but it does, the way that it has the rays and the Shop Talk, like you put an image behind it and it makes making the covers extremely easy. It makes my job very easy, that logo. It works well. I set
this one up that it'll be easy too.
All right. Well, let's see what you got. Is that a teardrop?
It's a teardrop. Yeah. Whatever.
I like it.
It's got the cobra.
Yeah. Your signature.
You're the skull. You're the skull.
Okay.
There's a secret AID hidden in the flames.
I see it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And on a t-shirt.
It's pretty good.
Patch out of that.
Do you think that the teardrop, because here's the thing, the reason why I love the other logo is because it has the AID logo in there, and I just drop it on and it just like works.
Oh, well, I can. And that's what I was gonna do a version. I ran out of time that had the AID logo in there as well.
And I also like
easy
that
to do.
The other logo has like that horizontal bar that adds a good plane to like put copy beneath it. Like, I like this logo as merchandise, but as a guy who likes to do a cover, I also have to.
This is going to work on the cover. This is going to be beautiful on the cover. Stop using the other logo. I'm not trying to get mad at you. I'm just trying to. If I raise my voice, then you'll listen to me.
I'm telling you, the other one works better for covers. This is good merchandise.
How about this?
The other one's a better logo.
I don't think so. I don't like the other one.
I don't care.
Well, I made it, so I'm saying don't use it.
But I took it off of your Instagram, and by internet laws, that means that it's rightfully mine. All right.
Come on, just try to use this one.
3 cools.
For a little bit.
3 cools.
No, this is awesome. This is great. This is up there. This is all the cools.
This is good merchandise. I just don't know how well this will stick out around busy artwork, or if it'll be too many things floating. I'm just saying.
I'm going to show you how it works. I think the other one is way busier, doesn't have a clear border, and it looks terrible when you stick it over other artwork. It looks terrible when you stick it on the covers.
It divides things up properly. It divides things up.
No, it doesn't. It just busies it up, and it looks shit.
All right. You do this week's cover with this teardrop.
You got it.
And you're not allowed to make new artwork. You have to take artwork that already exists, because that's what I do every week. You have to work this over something that already exists.
Okay.
You do that 3 weeks in a row and prove me that it works, and I'll use it until you make
easy
something
peasy. Okay. No problem. I'll come up with 3 different systems for you. So all you have to do is plug and play.
I love plug and play. Let's plug and play, baby.
Plug and play that shit. Trust me, son.
All right.
I got it handled.
Okay, audience vote right now. Done by Saturday says, I dig the OG logo.
Ah, fuck you. Well, have you seen his artwork? Come on.
All right, Billy. This is pretty cool. I appreciate the extra work. I do think you're being a little bit harsh on your original design.
I don't like the original design. It's got issues.
The funny thing about the original design is you never showed it to me. You just showed it to the world on Instagram.
It's because it was just a work in progress. I never meant for it to go to the prime time.
Was it Duchenne's high school?
It was Duchenne High School.
I told you Enon Avital would get it. I told you, man.
Did he?
Yeah, he's on top of it. He's the AID encyclopedia.
Amazing.
He also happens to know your death year.
I hope it's before this episode comes out.
Ryan Sanders says, I think the teardrop would work well over existing artwork. # Team Cobra.
Yeah, baby.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Somebody else says the new logo too. So right now we got the audience is saying 50-50. Could go either way.
Well, it's just cooler.
All right. I've made 900 covers. I have an idea what works. It looks difficult to me, but you will prove me wrong.
Of course. Every time.
Let's wrap it up with our theme song, and let's go record the rest of tonight's Shop Talk for next week.
You don't have any surprises for me?
No. Oh, yeah. I got you this. Nothing. I got you all the kids want these. I got you a FireWire hard drive.
I actually have something for the COT members.
Yeah?
You get it.
Carl just said old logo, new one looks like a face tattoo. All right, play your music so I can end this stream and we can let the fine people.
And that was all of the cools with Billy.
Thanks a lot, everybody, for hanging out with us on the live stream. Catch this episode next Wednesday. This will probably be AID 913, a Shop Talk with Billy Ballman and myself. Billy, thank you for the logo. Thank you for the cools. And let's get doing some more adventures in design right now.